Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Star Charts. In today's episode of Star Chart, we're going to be talking about the Killian system. The Killian system is located deep within the UEE. It has 4 jump points, one going to Magnus, one to Elis, one to Terra, and one to Min. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the Killian system and go over the details. In today's Star Charts, we're going to feature the military-oriented Killian system, home base to several branches of the UEE Armed Forces. The Killian system. Killian is where young soldiers go to learn the art of warfare, and where old soldiers return to fade away. For them and most other humans, it is the shining symbol of the UEE military might. Located at the heart of the Empire, a single jump line away from Terra, and home to hundreds of military barracks, training facilities, shipyards, and support facilities. Killian's economy is based entirely on the massive military presence, with weapons manufacturers, ship designs flocking to the system to offer their wares. Between the shipyards at Naval Station MacArthur to the Marine headquarters on Corinne, Killian may be the safest place in the galaxy, if you're on the right side of the law. Killian itself is a white A-type main sequence star orbited by 14 planets. The discovery of Killian occurred early in man's exploration into the galaxy. Terraforming of green band planets began very early, as did the garrisoning of military forces here. While there was no specific plan to build out the system specifically as a military base, it naturally evolved from the forward base in the early days of exploration to the most important headquarters in the galaxy, as power shifted towards the region of space surrounding Terra. Only the UEE Army continues to maintain their formal headquarters on Earth. The Navy and Marine top commanders now direct troop and ship movements from armored city bases on planets in the Killian system. As a collateral development, Killian has generated a large civilian population and is fully represented in the UEE Senate, the planets. The Three Sisters. The first 3 planets in the Killian are dwarf worlds known informally as the Three Sisters. The Sisters travels close to the star and essentially uninhabitable rocks. Limited metallurgical resources are mined on the smallest of the Sisters, Killian 3. For the most part, the worldlets are an outlet for UEE weapons testing exercises. Their surfaces bear the scars of hundreds of years of antimatter blasts and railgun impacts. Magma, or Killian 4, is the system's primary mining outpost. As the name, chosen by a particularly uninventive explorer, indicates, Killian is covered in superheated metals and features heavy volcanic activity. No land area on Magma is stable, so miners operate flying carryalls capable of jetting entire massive refinery complexes from place to place. MacArthur, home of UEE Navy headquarters and birthplace of the Bengal-class strike carrier. MacArthur, named after a famed Army general of a previous millennium, in what naval personnel chose to find amusing irony, is home to the largest human naval base in the galaxy. It's where tens of thousands of naval aviators train every year and where all major naval exercises are planned and coordinated. The planet is orbited by countless rings of spatial moorings and dry dock facilities. The largest ships in the known universe, including the Bengal, are constructed in the space around MacArthur. As a result, MacArthur is a place where merchants can make a killing. On the legal side, merchants can bring in processed ores, weapon components, shield generators, and a myriad of other elements needed for constructing large warships. Those affiliated with the black market can also get rich on MacArthur, as the planet's population of lonely ship crews has a variety of appetites. The latter category should be warned, though, that there are more standing military patrols in the Killian system than there are anywhere this side of the Vandal line. Osha. Osha is a small terraformed world home to many of the families and support personnel for the system's military population. It's a temperate world that has been highly constructed. Arcologies now dot the surface, providing homes for hundreds of thousands of husbands, wives, and children of military personnel who are either assigned elsewhere in the system or deployed to distant stars. There is some profit to be made shipping to Osha, whose population generally seeks luxuries from the rest of human-settled space. Keen, slightly larger than Osha, Keen is another civilian world. Unlike Osha, Keen is the domain of military-aligned corporations and businesses. If a manufacturer has a military contract, you can bet it has a home office located somewhere on Keen. Manufacturers compete for facility spots on the world because an in-system facility allows one to be much more efficient supplier. This means that regardless of resources, everything from toilet paper to starship bulkheads is manufactured here. Roberts Space Industries and Anvil Aerospace both maintain formal showrooms on Keen, which may be visited by civilians. Killian 8. Killian 8 is an ocean world with an open secret. It is highly toxic to the point of total inhospitability. What appears from orbit to be a tropical paradise is in fact an orb of high-density fluid consisting of water, ammonia, and more volatile liquids. No current spacesuit technology is capable of protecting a human on 8's surface, and even most starship hulls will dissolve with minimal contact. Corinne, home of the UEE Marines. Corinne is a deadly ice world which is used for Marine command, housing, and training. Dotted with icy tundras and craggy rock caves, Corinne is technically outside the system's green band. The Marines maintain a massive underground base, but also require that all trainees survive a 6-month boot camp on the planet's surface. Marine units not in the field are engaged in constant war games here. Corinne is one of the best protected worlds in the galaxy, with a Marine carrier preventing unauthorized access at all times. The best advice? Do not approach. The outer planets. Killian 10 through Killian 14 are uninhabitable. 10 has a thin atmosphere and a dense mineral-rich surface. Metal rights to the planet are currently locked in an ongoing court battle, so only claim hoppers need apply. And the massive military in the region makes that an unappealing prospect for all but the boldest miners. Killian 11 is a gas giant which is used primarily for in-system fuel supply. Automated harvester platforms surround the planet, gathering resources for UEE shipyards. Killian 12, 13, and 14 are small, essentially dead worlds with little interest. Killian 13, sometimes called a haunted planet, does feature an impressive smoky quartz surface that looks like nothing else in the galaxy. And from another source. Killian, ownership UEE, planets 14. Planetary rotation, MacArthur, 488 standard Earth days. Gimbal, 690 standard Earth days. Import, weapons, heavy metals, luxury items, spare parts. Export, weapons, surplus. Crime status, low. Black market, narcotics, gambling. The construction yard for the mighty UEE Navy and the birthplace of the Bengal-class carrier. Scores of shipyards work 24/7 building and resting destroyers, orbital stations, planetary defenses, and other space assets. As with any Navy base, merchants can make a killing offering less than legal entertainment options. But anyone thinking to ship anything especially harmful under the eyes of the bulk of the UEE Navy will not last long as a smuggler. Only the legal side. Killian is always in need of raw materials for starship hulls, spare parts for operating the fleet, and there are even shipping contracts available to civilians willing to bring munitions constructed elsewhere. Several spacecraft companies maintain formal showrooms in the Killian system, including Roberts Space Industries and Anvil Aerospace. Located near the Eastern Systems, Killian is also where recruits from Terra go for basic training, and is the source of the traditional space shanty off to Killian Fields. And that was the Killian system. Thank you for coming out and checking out this Star Charts episode, and stay tuned for additional episodes. We'll see you in the verse.